Thank you, Mr. Chair. I rise today in support of all 5 bills moving by UC. You know, this Natural Resources Committee moves mountains. We have jurisdiction over some of the most pressing issues facing America today. And these bills are important. They really are. But I promise you, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Days like today are an opportunity to move legislation, Mr. Chair, that will impact the lives of all Americans. And I'm pleased that we're not considering the double NEPA legislation that has now been pulled twice. There is a mining project in my district on its 18th year of consultation, permitting, and litigation. Doubling this timeline would be ridiculous. However, this committee needs to consider legislation today that would bring down the skyrocketing costs of energy. For example, why don't we consider on this panel how this administration has yet to approve one single onshore lease? As I mentioned last week in an EMR meeting, the White House press secretary said there are 9,000 leases approved. And a couple days later, she changed that to 9,000 permits. Mr. Chair, maybe we could have someone from the White House testify as to whether or not they know the first thing about oil and gas development. Because on this panel, we know that one single approved permit to drill does not equal oil shooting up from the ground. It takes multiple leases across several parcels. Seismic studies completed to ensure there is enough oil there to warrant drilling. And then approval for the rights of ways, approvals for the methane, approvals for applications for permits to drill. But what happened to all those approvals? In January of 2021, the Biden administration halted every single one of them with a single pen stroke. Joe Biden chose to stop approving energy. For those that were already in process, the administration decided they needed a central planning style master leasing plan based in DC, based in Washington, DC, instead of going through the regional offices like they always did. The only lease sale held under direction of a Louisiana federal district court in the Gulf of Mexico featured record interest and millions in revenue from bonus bids. And what happened next? Another district court vacated the sale, and this administration chose not even to appeal, all the while ignoring the statutory required 5-year plan, which calls for 3 more lease sales. So maybe, Mr. Chairman, we can consider legislation today that would reaffirm commitment to the rule of law and hold both onshore and offshore leases. Because the fact of the matter is, gas prices have skyrocketed under this president, and it started long before Putin's invasion of Ukraine. When Biden took office, gasoline was on average in my district $1.87 a gallon. It has steadily increased and now sits nearly at $4 a gallon. So what does the administration suggest? That we start pumping and drilling for more oil. But the same administration paused all approvals, doesn't know the difference between a permit and a lease, and isn't appealing the court ruling for the only lease sale offered. So, Mr. Chair, I'll close with this. I look forward to supporting the UC package here today. These are good UC bills that mean a lot to the communities they serve. However, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. The gas crisis is truly punishing American families and small businesses, and we, as a House Natural Resource Committee, need to do something about it. So let's urge this administration to hold lease sales, finish approvals, and allow American workers to unleash America's energy and get us back to energy independence and dominance. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I yield back.